Pounders, we are back doing what we do best, and that is putting $10 into the big board, and we got the news finally that we wanted at the QB position. Cooper Rush has signed a 2-year deal with the Cowboys. Let's go. All right, that's not the news everyone's waiting for, but happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. We are glittered in green today. Actually have a wedding tonight. Green bow tie, suspendies are ready. Maybe a photo will drop on the Twitter machine. We'll see if the wife lets me do that. We have Gesicki signing a 1-year deal in New England. Gross, disgusting, awful. For us, I've been avoiding Gesicki. He hasn't been one of the late tight ends that I've been targeting. How much does it affect Henry? I mean, where we drafted him in the 19th and 20th this whole time, and he still has that red zone touchdown upside. It's half-point PPR. I don't think it hurts him all that much for a 19th, 20th round pick. But Gesicki, probably not the best landing spot that everyone was hoping for. A lot of people were praying for Cincy. Obviously, we didn't get that. But let's jump into a draft here. Fancy Dysfunctional, welcome to the live stream. ER7, always a pleasure. Randstan says, I'll be getting my teeth cleaned when this starts. Dang. Well, if your dentist's office isn't down with the pound, you got to get a new dentist. Ohio Outdoors, what's up, my man? Says, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate that. Definitely hit the thumbs up. It helps us a ton. It really does. Gets our name out there. And we like doing this. This is day 26 in a row. Crazy. It goes by so fast, but we are on pace with completing these big boards. It's about 70% full, and we have finished about 70% of our lineups. We're going to try to do as many of these on the live stream as possible, of course, until that baby pops, which is any minute, hopefully not today during the wedding, but you can't control life, and that's how it goes. So if you guys do have the Gesicki, and a lot of people were stacking these late 3 tight ends, it's a very common strategy. We've been doing it as well. I think it's an effective strategy. It's okay. This is a small piece of your portfolio. If you think of it like stocks, this is the first tournament that's released on Underdog. You're going to have plenty of time to spread out all your exposures over the course of the whole offseason. The next tournament, ADPs will be reset. So that might be a better time to get exposure to other players that maybe were risers and you missed the value. But if you go now where 70% of people have already drafted and now you're trying to catch up on that exposure to them, maybe it's a better bet just to fade them. It depends on how far they've jumped. So yeah, sort of think of it like that. We can get more into some of those deep thoughts, strategies moving forward. But let's do our normal countdown. Try to get as many people in this draft as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're live. Waiting on 3 people. And it's full. Let's go. Short Gamer TV in the 1 spot. Elims in the 4. Try again, Chump. Very familiar name. Not sure if he's a pounder. Too cool. Rad. Paul, what's up, my man? We get the 10 spot. We'll take it. We'll gladly take the 10 spot. My God. After getting 12 3 times in a row and then 11 yesterday, we're moving in the right direction, fellas. We're moving in the right direction. Ridiculous. 10's not bad because you're getting one of these receivers. Interested what Paul's going to do at this 9 spot here. Devontae Adams has been falling a little bit with Jimmy G as the quarterback. CeeDee Lamb potentially, I have him ranked over Devontae Adams right now, just with the potential of Schultz most likely leaving Dallas as well. It's a lot of targets. Do we ever not draft back-to-back? No, Underdog knows. We just have the same player pool, so should be another classic between Paul and I. Lee, what is up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. Says just dropping in. Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate you dropping in. JJ goes at 1, Chase at 2. Standard. A lot of badges people right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. Which, I mean, some of these guys are pounders, so it's not like they're not sharp. If you guys haven't already, all the subscribers get our free draft guide. Just hit me up on Twitter at Fantasy Dog Pound. All I need is your email. Completely free to subscribers. And we got Ohio Outdoors at the 12 spot, he says. Welcome. CMC at 3, Hill at 4, Cup at 5, Kelsey at 6. I don't mind Kelsey at 6 now. I'm starting to get a little more. We have 4%. I do want to get it up to probably 7 or 8%. He's just one of those guys that can have a 2-touchdown, 100-yard game realistically, and there's very few at the tight end position. Yeah, this is what I'm on right now too. CeeDee Lamb over Devontae. But I'm not going to reach for one of these two. We can basically guarantee ourselves one of these running backs if we want, or one of these wide receivers. So we'll see what happens. It's scary how accurate our draft guide was, even in just like the first round. It came out over 2 weeks ago. Kelsey is red, Cup is green, Hill is green, Eckler yellow, Diggs green, Devontae yellow, AJ Brown green at the 10 spot. Now, since then, AJ Brown's moved over. Devontae Adams, Eckler's fallen. See what Grelly does here. I'm fine with one of these two. All right, we'll go Jonathan Taylor in the 15 spot. Gladly. Get a little different. I think that's a nice little start there. The delay always gets me. Yeah, I don't know how many seconds StreamYard's behind, but it must be something like 5. So when I start the countdown, you probably have to enter. Paul gets Eckler at 16. We saw these 3 running backs, Bijan, Eckler, and Saquon, fall to 18, 19, and 20 in yesterday's draft that we did with Felix. Is this an auto pick? This might be an auto pick. Nope. Benjamin May, how much speculating did you do on Rodgers Wilson? We kind of knew that they were going to bring in a QB. Let's get it solidified. Like, nothing is solidified just yet, but we've been drafting Wilson the whole way down. For Rodgers, I still haven't been drafting him that much. I've been getting those stacks a little more lately, but I think the bigger thing is Christian Watson and where he's being drafted with Jordan Love as his QB. Like, this is fine. He's not really moving that much, and he's keeping this ADP pretty strong, but you can see these receivers starting to catch up. Is Felix not on today? Now, his normal days are Monday and Wednesday, and I had to bribe him to get on last night with us. I just like going early QB, so I was debating with myself. Honestly, I like all my builds that I start with an early QB. I don't have much Jonathan Taylor. Kind of like a small fade for me this year. And probably not for good reason. So that's why I'm bringing him in here after ADP. 6%. It's not like it's not crazy, actually. Oh, did I copy and paste? I might have just copy and pasted the last video description, honestly. I'll have to fix that. Thanks. I just go to the last video and copy paste. Unless it's the stream with Felix. Oh, the title's the same too? Lame. Let me fix that. Board. That looks good. My apologies. Yeah, that was yesterday's stream. It was a fun one. It's always fun going 2 heads on one lineup. Paul says, I have so much Bijan. Yeah. Didn't you pick him at the 2 spot in one of our drafts? I think it was a dare. Let's see what Paul does. Debo. Okay. Interesting. I'm okay with getting one of these receivers. I would actually also be okay with getting Najee if we wanted to go one of these guys, but pretty impartial. We'll get one of the 5. We'll get Travis Etienne a little bit after ADP. Now I got to check the ETN exposures. Yeah, 4%. A little smooth over there. He says, no, I haven't gone that crazy yet. Someone did. Now I have to get a special guest. All right, Paul, hop in. Hop in the live stream. I'll send you the link. Someone can hop in. I don't care. Who has a mic and a camera? Let's see what Grelly does here. I'd be kind of disappointed if he takes our guy. Like when I said we'll get one of these 5 receivers. Yes. I was hoping it wasn't Mike Williams. I'm not going to lie. I like this start. We like this start. Where did Justin Fields go? Justin Fields went at 23. Goddamn. Ohio Outdoors. I like how you double tap a wide receiver there, catching up. I like that a lot. Who's going to step up? Who has a mic? Who has a cam? Inviting you to the live stream. London goes at 40. Damn, Paul. Reaching above a few guys. Obviously not going Burrow. Could have went Najee. TJ Hawks going a little early for my taste in a 20-round draft. In an 18-round draft, I'm completely comfortable taking him here. See Andrews fall to 41. It's interesting now, though, like these early tight ends, you're getting some security with drafting them, where now some of these landing pieces are looking pretty bad, like Gesicki to New England. How much does it hurt Hunter Henry? I mean, again, you're picking him here for the touchdown upside, not because he's going to be a target hog. It's half-point PPR. So I don't know how much Gesicki really affects that. He's going to take over like that Jonnu Smith role, and they should run a ton of 2 tight end sets as well. So Bill O'Brien likes his tight ends. We saw Chicago added Robert Tonyan. I don't really think that's going to affect Cole Kmet. I honestly think that he's just a depth chart additive. Be curious on your guys' thoughts on that. Viewers would leave if they saw my ugly mug. It's all right. We'll edit you, make you look all pretty. I don't do any editing. It's raw footage. See Grelly go Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams. Pissing yellow so far. Short Gamer TV. Getting T. Higgins with Joe Burrow at 49. Always nice. Try again, chump. I'm guessing was going to go. Could have gone Joe Burrow there. He already has Fields, so it would have been a little weird because you already overpaid for Fields. So I've been a lot of draft capital at QB. JSN goes at 51. Michael Pittman at 50. That doesn't work. What if I stretch it out a little bit and then do that? I don't know if that improved it. If that made it bigger, let me know. I'm really not a fan of drafting at the turns. Same. Give me the 3 through 8. 3 through 8. But honestly, 2 is strong too. So, but yeah, one spot, 12 and 11. I feel like it's super easy to get boxed out at QB. Obviously, we have a small reach here from Mahomes. Pissing yellow now on the back end here. Michael Pittman, JSN, Lockett at 52. Christian Kirk, Chris Godwin, Jameson Williams. Good thing we went another receiver here. Look at this board. It's bare. It's bare. Too cool, Rad, taking it all the way down to triple zeros. Uh-oh. Underdog, fix your shit. Uh-oh. It says we're on the clock. Okay, Kittle's gone. Herbert's gone. Let's go ahead and bring in Marquise Brown here. I'm assuming that they move on from DeAndre Hopkins. And Marquise Brown was a top 7 wide receiver without DeAndre Hopkins the first 6 weeks last year. Obviously, the guy's made of glass, so you're just hoping he plays week 15, 16, 17. Dalvin Cook off the board. We see Swift starting to fall a little bit. Pickens quickly goes off the board. I wouldn't mind getting an Ayuk here or Kyle Pitts. Could go Trevor Lawrence. It's just so gross. It's so gross. We're going to hold off on QB as long as possible. He goes Kyle Pitts. I think it's fine going Ayuk here. I also like Treylon. I don't see us picking a running back for a very long time. Yeah, dude. It went right by me. It froze on me. Like, Underdog has to fix their stuff. Pounders like it raw. Damn, it's getting crazy early. It's been like this for the last 2 days. So, Paul, who did you end up getting? You end up getting Justin Herbert. Yeah, there's no way you're going Herbert here, right? But at least you have Eckler. It could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse. Well, I guess if Eckler moves on. But yeah, you obviously want to stack the pocket passers. So weird. The delay is like a minute on some of these. So my recommendations just have people queued up when it's like that. Have a few people queued up. Let's pull up the board. Trevor Lawrence goes at 67. Would have preferred if he had like Christian Kirk or ETN. We have ETN, but Calvin Ridley. Wonder if Reed was going to take Trevor Lawrence here at 68. That's honestly closer where his ADP should be, is around the 60, 67, 68 range. We'll see what happens on the way back around. Kadarius Toney at 70. Is anyone high on Toney right now, like for this price? 70? I know he's going around 80 normally. I get Juju's not in town anymore, but he's not going to be a target hog. He's more of a gadget player. Yeah, he has 2 touchdown upside. A lot of people do after round 6. He also has the injury history. I don't know. It's a tough sell for me. Damn, Lee comes in with the hot take, says Sky Moore greater than. Whew. Sheesh. Josh said, I was refreshing a lot in the draft yesterday. Hitting refresh helps. Paul says, definitely setting my queue now. It's a little tougher for me because I'm live with you guys, so I don't really want to tell you all my picks. Like, I'll talk about them after I pick them, but to be like, hey, here's my next 3 picks, it's kind of difficult. So we'll see. We might get auto picked on one of these. Gonna have to keep a little self counter in my head. I like this range. We did want Watson to fall to us. Elam's loves his QBs. Quinn Johnson off the board. Dobbins off the board. We don't have Lamb. It's gross. I'm going Addison here. If we want one of these running backs, I mean, this is an awesome range for Arby's. Pacheco off the board at 83. Honestly, I think that's the right range for him. He's going a little too early for my taste. ADP of 73. Nice little value scoop by Corelli. Let's see what Ohio Outdoors in the live chat wants to do. Cam Akers. I like that. As his 3rd running back. People don't understand that, like, Cam Akers is relatively young. Sure, he's coming back from the Achilles injury. He started to get hot at the end of last season. Let's get a little Waller here. I'm comfortable where my running backs are and my receivers. It won't let me lock them in. Dude, underdog is so delayed. What is happening? Hopefully he gets plugged in. We'll see in a couple seconds. I don't hate a couple shots on him if he does play over Sky. I think we can all agree to not snipe you. Keep trade, cut. Dobbins, Akers, Algier. Keep trade, cut. Probably trading Algier, cutting Akers, and keeping Dobbins. Just because Dobbins, you're not going to be able to get a lot from right now. Last year was like his recovery year from injury. Akers, I mean, I don't want to have to cut him, but keep trade Algier because his stock is high. Could also trade Akers, but then do you really want to cut Algier? You know what I mean? I like that though. It's like the Mary F. kill. Lee says, I've been torn on Akers. I've been grabbing him lately, but I don't know how he will do this year. Who knows how that whole team is going to do with the Rams? Is Staffy returning? I think he is, but we'll see if he can stay healthy. Akers had a really hot start to the end of the year. Kyren Williams clearly wasn't the guy. Didn't really do a lot with his carries. Errol Henderson, they cut mid-season. So Akers has a pretty open path to being the RB1 there. Should get a lot of work. DeMont at 94. Yeah, it's steep. It's steep. It's a good landing spot for David Montgomery. It's definitely a good landing spot. A lot of people had Zach Charbonnet projected to go to Chicago to pair up with Khalil Herbert. So I don't mind the Charbonnet pick here. But Detroit's going to score a shit ton of points. You see Penny go at 99. Yeah, this is just not a good 5 running backs, 3 receivers. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough coming back from that. So where we have these 2 elite running backs, I think that helps us, to be honest. See if Rand decides to come back at wide receiver. It's our pick. Daniel Jones comes back to us. We're going to pair him nicely with our Darren Waller pick from the last round. He fell right in the basket with the biscuits. Well, Daniel Jones, Darren Waller stack, no reach. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. It's a pretty one. I was not expecting all these running backs sticking around this long. Yeah, people are drafting these receivers. That's what happens in sharper rooms, though. Receivers go off the board extremely fast. Rodgers goes. Brian Robinson goes. We can go all sorts of different ways here. We can go another QB. We can go running back. We can go receiver. Like, I'm fine with going Trey Lance here. I think that's super interesting. Bringing him in with Brendan Ayuk. I like these running backs. We don't need to go receiver, so I think this is the way. I don't have a ton of Trey Lance, but this just seems like a good spot for it. 7 picks after ADP. Should have some rushing upside. Don't expect him to rush early in the season, but again, we have Daniel Jones, who has a good floor and ceiling with his rushing ability. Double anchor running back build. Who knows how Darren Waller is going to do? What a good thing for Waller is, like one of the positives, they re-signed Sterling Shepard. They have Wan'Dale Robinson. They have Paris Campbell now. They re-signed Slayton. They have Richie James. Like, there's not a ton of competition there for Darren Waller. I mean, they have to add all their body parts up just to make one healthy human being, but if Darren Waller can stay healthy, I think he has a really good season. Pretty balanced build from us so far. Now we'll just add to it. Darren Waller, Daniel Jones stack. It's super easy to get late stacks with Danny Dimes too. Even a last round Sterling Shepard. Like, Sterling Shepard's been good when he's been on the field. It's just he's going to play 3 games this year. Gino goes off the board at 118. Sky Moore at 117, huh? I don't hate it. I really don't. Now that they've traded away Juju. Gave away Juju, I should say. Sky Moore should be going in this range. That's a super sharp pick by Elims. Paul says, I'm fairly out on Algier until after the draft. We've seen how many teams treat day 3 RBs. Yeah, no doubt. That's why I think with that question, when it comes to keep, trade, cut, I would trade Algier because he has, I believe he has more trade power right now than Akers does. Still, Akers burned a lot of people last year in redraft. That sticks in people's minds. This 253 build's ugly. It's ugly. Hipster is paying the rake for everybody. Everyone give him a big thank you. Lazard goes at 124. Interested what they do with Sky Moore. And I'm wondering if Green Bay is trying to get Sky Moore in the Rodgers deal. Because I think that'd be super smart for Green Bay. Free agency isn't deep, as we know. And a lot of the big names are off the board with Myers, Juju, Lazard. ER7 says, what are the possibilities Zeke goes to Washington or the Giants? I don't think he'd go to Washington with Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. But the Giants, if they moved on from Saquon, I mean, dude, like, Zeke's dust at this point. Zeke is pretty dusty. See what Paul wants to do here. He goes Knox. I get it. Like, I don't think it's a good landing spot for Jamal. But no one's gotten him at 130. We haven't been drafting him early. I'm not going Odell Beckham here, so let's bring in Jamal 19 picks after ADP. Should have some upside on the 2-yard line. But again, they didn't really use Kamara last year like he should have been used. So who knows how long that suspension is? Maybe it's 6 weeks. Maybe it's 8 weeks. Jamal should be able to provide some value. And as our RB3, I like that. I think it makes a lot of sense here. Fantasy Dysfunctional says, tried to get cute on my draft, not working out. Dobbs goes. I think that's a sharp pick, especially with Lazard moving on. I think that's a super sharp pick. Rondell Moore off the board. I like it. I like this wide receiver room. Okay. I mean, I think Kenneth Gainwell is another relatively high upside running back right now because they brought in Rashad Penny. That's the only reason. Rashad Penny has not finished a single season healthy. So I think he's pretty high upside. And the upside lies not if Penny gets hurt early, but actually if he gets hurt around week 13, and then they don't have time to readjust, bring someone else in, and they just ride with Gainwell and Boston Scott. This is sort of like last year's Madison pick in this range, except Kenneth Gainwell will get more involved in the passing game than Madison behind Dalvin Cook. This is how I view that pick. Tournament upside, probably not the best cash game play because his floor is 0. But with Rashad Penny coming in, I'm now intrigued in Gainwell. So we'll catch up a little bit on exposure, and it's 11 picks after ADP. I don't think that should be happening right now. High-powered offense, great O-line. Yeah, we needed to catch up. So we have 2%. He was a fade for me. Luckily, we have 45 drafts to make it up. So I'm comfortable with my running backs again. Gonna have to catch up at receiver here. We're up in 11 picks. And we get Paul before us, which is always fun to take one of our picks. Guaranteed. I think Paris Campbell's interesting, kind of plays the same role as Darius Slayton, but he comes in for really short money. He could end up being a cut candidate. 1-year deal, $3 million. It's a very busy backfield. Not too interested in really any of these Giants players, but when we go Daniel Jones, we could take a shot on one of them. For me, it's gonna be Darius Slayton though, who actually received a big contract. And of course, they don't even have it in here. It was like a total of 2 years, $16.5 million, with the bonuses included if he hits them. I think it's 2 years, $6 million a year, up to 16.5 total. Dentist appointment is over. Randstand is ready to roll, smiling with the diamonds. I really wanted my Browns to sign Paris Campbell. Yeah, but DPJ plays a similar role. Paris Campbell can't stay healthy. That's his major issue. Hodgins off the board, completely ignoring him at this ADP at this point. A-Chain off the board at 148. Elam's is crushing this draft right now. Absolutely slaying this draft. He's got the Njoku with Deshaun Watson. He doesn't have a pairing for Jalen Hurts, but you don't need one. Chiggy as his tight end too. Like, I'm really digging this draft. Sky Moore, Alan Lazard, I think is fine at this ADP. It's not the best, but I like the Sky Moore pick. I like Zay Flowers, Lockett, Tyreek Hill. I think it's a sharp draft so far. Of course, Pierce goes. He wasn't going to make it past Paul anyways as our number 1 drafted receiver. I think Gardner Minshew is actually not bad for his value. And then you have to think they're drafting a rookie QB and they're just bringing in Gardner Minshew to get the rookie acclimated here. Antonio Gibson, yeah, gone. Hunter Renfrow, never drafting him here. It's gross, but after Juju leaves town, I don't have a lot of MVS. Let's just reach up and get him. Not a lot of receivers on the board. Adam Thielen, I think, is pretty low upside. I don't love MVS. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that's my second time drafting him. It might be my first time. Yeah, it is. But with The news that KC wasn't going to change their wide receiver core, and then all of a sudden release Juju, it's like, oh man, can't trust these teams. Can't trust these teams. Donta Foreman. You got to think that Chicago is going to draft a running back still, though. It won't be first, second, might not even be the third round, but this running back group is so deep in this draft. That's why I'm pissed the Patriots went and brought in James Robinson. Like, you guys are going to make me tear my hair out, whatever's left. Like, you give Pierre Strong 10 carries last year, and you're like, yeah, nah, we're all set. Bring in James Robinson. Averages like 3.6 yards per carry. Ah, man. All right. Harris off the board. I think that's a really good pick as well. We're going to get our guy, Tyquan Thornton. Maybe. If Underdog will fix their website. So we'll have Adams, DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, Brendan Ayuk, Jordan Addison, MVS, and Tyquan Thornton. I like our QB situation. I like our running back situation. We'll obviously have to add in some high upside rookies. Maybe they hit a gold mine of a landing spot. Let's go. Sorry, not sorry. Says, hey, brother, would you ever be hiring people if the channel expands? I'm in Mass 2. Fantasy sports all I ever want to do for a living. I'd love to hear that, man. Always open to bringing people in. 100%. If you ever want to get on a live stream, all you need is a cam and mic. I invited people on this one. So just hit me on the DMs in the Twitter machine. We've had 106 new subscribers in the last 28 days. That's like a 1,400 pace a year, and absolutely blessed. Every single one of you guys, appreciate it. Really do. Showing up. Really showing up. A lot of support. It makes this so much fun. Because this is what I'm going to be doing all off season anyways. So why not record it and have some fun and share some takes? Crowley sniped my Foreman running back. It's probably a good thing, though. It's probably a good thing. Chicago's O-line's not the best. I don't think it was a good spot for Foreman to land, to be honest. But guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the live stream. Hit subscribe. If you like best ball content and you want to jump in some of these live drafts with us, hit the bell for notifications. And we can make that possible. Pounders. Hey, I learned from you, brother. Let's go. The 104 to be very strong draft position. Yeah, definitely. It definitely is. I remember early in this offseason when this tournament first opened, you were getting Tyreek Hill at 7. Consistently, he was going at 7. I missed that. We were drafting monsters. But at 4, the team still comes out strong. Like, look at this squad. It's a great squad. Devin A-Chain brings in Taysom Hill. Not going to be super high on Hill now that they bring in Jamal Williams to take over that goal line work. But he could still have spike weeks, catching touchdowns, throwing touchdowns. We'll see how Sean Payton not being in town anymore affects it. I like the Booty pick. Elam's is just crushing. Booty used to go around 120, 130 before he had an awful combine. But I think that's a solid pick still. You're getting him for cheaper than what 40% of the people, 30% of the people drafted him at. So but he has a huge question mark going into the NFL draft. We'll see where he ends up. Rashawn Johnson was going to be one of our guys. Kendrick Miller was going to be the other one. You guys are absolute savages. Savages drafting before me. I don't mind just bringing in Jeff Wilson We know he has a role. They re-signed Gaskins. They re-signed Ahmed. They re-signed Mostert. And they re-signed Jeff Wilson. Why not just get rid of Ahmed and Gaskins and just draft a day 3 or day 4 running back? It could be a 5th rounder. Like, Ahmed and Gaskins haven't done anything for Miami. I'm just surprised, especially McDaniels, who didn't originally draft him. Surprised that they're still attached at the hip to this team. See Kincaid go at 180. Small reach. We don't hate it because you're probably not going to get him on the way back around. Yeah, at 204. We're on the clock. I like getting Trey McBride here. I don't want more Tyler Higbee until I find out what's going on with Staffy. I like Tank, but we'll go Trey McBride. We'll bring in our second tight end. Ben, what's up, my man? Coming in, swinging the wrench around. CJ Stroud goes at 184. Yeah, 31 picks after ADP. I like it. I like it. I expect him to end up in Carolina, though. And I just don't know how much upside you can have throwing to Terrace Marshall, Laviska Shenault, Hayden Hurst. And they traded their first round and second round, so it's not like they can get a second round rookie wide receiver. I don't know. But 31 picks, it's hard to argue with that. I'll tell you that for free. Sam Howell goes at 188 to the Terry team. Very nice. Chase Brown goes super early. Okay. I would like to see Elam's bring in like a veteran or a handcuff that's going to get some guaranteed touches, because we know these rookie running backs typically have a slow start. Let's bring up the board. Marvin Mims goes at 186. Isaiah Likely at 190. We're seeing Higbee still fall here. Gesicki, interesting. I know he fell 14, 15 picks, but he's in New England. I don't like it. Slayton goes. Interesting. He's definitely going to be one of our picks on the way back around. Interesting. So what do we need? We need another running back. We need another receiver. Our receiver room's strong, though. We have high upside. Like, all these guys are big play dudes. So I'm liking this receiver room. Our tight ends, you could always use a third in 20 rounds, especially when you start with anyone besides the top 5 or 6. Where most teams are going 3 tight ends, I think it'd be tough to pull off if we didn't go 3 tight ends here. It's not like it's impossible. If Darren Waller has a good year, he could definitely carry this offense. QBs. 4 rounds left. Could easily go QB, tight end, 2 running backs, or we could say we're good at QB as well. see who falls. We see Hurst go at 199. Maybe that's where Paul was going to go, with CJ Stroud most likely ending up in Carolina. He goes Cedric Tillman. I like the Cedric Tillman pick. Let's go Rashee Rice here. I have no one on Pittsburgh, so I'm not really interested in going a Kenny Pickett. I also don't think that Kenny Pickett can add value to these two. Gesicki in New England is disgusting. Yeah, that's what I forgot to check. Where's my Gesicki ownership? It's not high. Two teams out of 107. We'll take it. That's going to smash a lot of the 3 tight end builds. People that are going just late tight ends, which we were, but we just avoided Gesicki. So we get a little lucky there with the bad landing spot for him. We'll see. Bill O'Brien likes his 2 tight end sets. Oh, you see that? It just literally skipped. Is this crazy? This might be crazy. Ryan Tannehill over Staffy. It might be crazy, but we're doing it. He has rushing upside. Stafford, I'm only picking him when we have the pass catchers. Same thing with Pickett. Same thing with Mac Jones. But again, I think Ryan Tannehill has more upside than Mac Jones, in my opinion. Who can have the bigger week? That's what I care about. And Ryan Tannehill has 2 rushing touchdown upside. Now, is it a high percent? Absolutely not. Yeah, not ideal for Gesicki. What sucks is New England shouldn't be trying to get marginally better. And you got to think this is pressure coming from Robert Kraft. When we didn't make the playoffs, he wrote a friggin' note or whatever and had it released. Like, it just makes us look like clowns. Like, get young at the position, draft like Sam Laporta or draft Kincaid. We'll see how high Kincaid goes. But Sam Laporta's, he shouldn't be too expensive. So, I don't know. They bring in Gesicki, and we'll see how it goes. Pat always takes Tanny. I'm going to die on the Ryan Tannehill hill. The Ryan Tannehill. Oh, that's actually flames. Only 18%, man. Come on. Give me a break here, please. Give me a break. Yeah, I did a small reach on him. Well, not really. Seven picks is not, it's not ridiculous. You see people just refusing to draft these QBs. It's so funny. So that tells me we actually have to boop Cooper Kupp maybe back a spot or 2. I've watched all 18% of those drafts. Yeah. Accurate. Die on the Ryan Tannehill. Oh, man. The memes. Ooh, I like the Eric Gray pick here. We have a little couple sleepers in our pocket. We'll see if anyone falls to us, though, because everyone knows these sleepers that are pounders in the chat. I don't have a lot of Rashee Rice, so I'm okay with that ownership coming out of SMU. Guys like 6'1", 205. Ran a pretty fast 40, 4.51. So good vert, good broad jump. I'm also at 18% Ryan Tannehill. Let's go. You were on that same exact hill. We're holding the flag. So we have 8 receivers here. I think this room is complete. I think it's strong. We have 2 picks left. We have our 3 QBs. Interesting. So we're not going receiver here. But with the news that Gesicki is in New England, I don't think it truly hurts Hunter Henry's touchdown upside. Conklin with Lazard there, I would say that's arguably worse news for him. Let's go with Jelani Woods, who I also own a absolute massive amount. We have our double. This is like a double anchor running back build. Jeff Wilson should have carries every single week. Kenneth Gainwell will be in and out. Not even like a change of pace back, but he still has some touchdown upside. Jamal Williams has touchdown upside. Kenneth Gainwell has the upside of if Rashad Penny gets hurt. That's where it really lies. And you're hoping it happens late in the season, not early. I'm between him and Hull. Hull had 55 catches last year in college. Big PPR guy. In half-point PPR, I'd rather probably the touchdown upside guy. And this guy gets up to max speed super fast if you watch his tape. And he can break a long run. That being said, Evan Hull might have the better draft capital because he's able to catch balls out of the backfield, and he's a pretty good size. Someone I'm targeting in Dynasty, in my full PPR Dynasty league. Yeah, solid stuff. Appreciate the sub. Guys, if you haven't already on the way out, drop a like at the door for your man. We're going to be running these all off season, even made due today before the wedding. We're taking off in probably an hour or two. So I got to go get ready. We got the green suspendies. We got the green bow tie. It's 2 Irish families getting married. I'm looking forward to the Irish coffees tonight. We're going to be doing it. Going to be a fun one. And the wife's pregnant, so she gets to drive. Hopefully she doesn't blow today. That would be terrible. I told her, if the water breaks, like I'll just throw my water on you. We'll do something like that. But guys, thank you for coming out. Appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great St. Patty's Day. I appreciate you all. And we'll see you on the next one. Pounders.